Hey everybody, welcome to Creature Corner tonight. I'm your host, Jared Krichevsky, concept artist, character designer, tub of large goo. So joining me today is our ghost host, our ghost with the most. He's the man with the stam. Welcome, Matt Millard. He's
Hey,
got
man.
stams.
I've got a couple stammies on
He's got
deck.
stems, he's got stams, he's got stands. The man stands, the man stams.
What's going on, man?
What's going on, buddy? Very, very exciting week. If you're a comic book fan,
If you like Archie, or
if you like Archie,
Garfield,
big week for Garfield.
yeah, huge lasagna week.
Huge lasagna week. Bad week for Mondays. So yeah, there a little movie came out. I don't know. Nobody seems to have seen it or is talking about it at all.
Yeah, no one's talking about it.
I don't know. I don't know what that would be.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen it or
Batman.
Heard it. Yeah,
no, it wasn't Batman.
It wasn't Batman. No one's talking about that.
And those are the facts.
That's the fact. So let's do some checking in and where we left off last week, what the plan is this week, and we'll take it from there. So let's do the thing. There we go. So I've got Goliath going on, fan sculpt here.
Nice.
And basically this week in my crunch time, which is like 15 minutes here, like I give myself like maybe 30 minutes a day to crunch on it. So whenever I'm posting updates, it's like a half hour at a time.
Yeah.
So it's like slow progress. It feels like really, really slow progress, but progress is still progress. Better to just work on something a little bit at a time and make forward momentum, I think, than to just let it sit there and not do anything at all with it. So
yeah, like the 700 million projects that artists usually have.
Yeah, exactly. Like the worst thing you always do is like you start 15 different things and then you bounce around to one of them. So today I'll be shoring up some of his anatomy for a little bit. And then I thought it would be fun, since I've got all the techies for this guy. We've got our creature guy here, our subterranean creature.
Yeah.
That we modeled for a couple of episodes there. So now that I've kind of got him, I've got a little bit of fur on him. I thought it'd be fun to like take this guy and maybe do some poses today.
Yeah, dude, posing is gonna bring it to life. That's for sure. I mean, he's really
gonna add all that magic. So that's what I'll be noodling on today, just having fun. And let's see, Matt Millard, what are you working on?
I have this guy, and he looks a little different from last time. I'm missing his posed tentacles, but that's because after our last session, I started messing.
Yeah.
I said I was going to mess around with posing his tentacles and stuff, and I kind of set up a little like curve deformer that I can just use in Maya to kind of make him wriggle around.
Nice.
So
fun.
There's still some sculptural detail that needs to be done, but I wanted to kind of just block in a scene to where I knew what I needed to do and what the next plan of action was. So today I'm just going to be kind of refining these goopy tentacles, and ultimately I'll just kind of duplicate them around or whatever, and they'll be everywhere, and then he'll be wriggly.
And he'll be very wiggly. I like it. All right, let's we'll put up in the quad view. Put us this over here in our quad view.
That profile's just like scary, dude. Like he would eat.
You see that face? Yeah, he would.
He would eat you.
In one bite.
Yeah, he'd put you all inside of his big old mouth and
and
make you die.
he would digest you with his juices.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to be doing the same thing. I'll probably sculpt for, I don't know. I'll just do this.
I figured I would do an hour and an hour.
Yeah,
like
probably screw around on this tentacle and then see what's going on.
There's something that's interesting, like when you're a noodler and you're just doing your passion projects in between other stuff. Say you've got a job going on, and so you give yourself like maybe 15 minutes. So lately, because I'm super excited to work on this Goliath, I've been giving myself like a little bit of extra time at lunch just to
because you're stuck
down, right? And so when you're working on something for like 15 minutes, right? You've got a timer and you're like, that's all I'm giving myself is 15 minutes to work on this. I don't know if you noticed this, but there's a time dilation that happens. Like your sense of time changes.
Yeah, for sure.
Like when you're working on something for a client and you have like an 8-9 hour day of working on that one thing, time, I don't know if you know this, but time like speeds up because you got a deadline, right? You got something to show.
And there's usually something rock solid in your head that you have to nail or go for, you know what I mean? To whereas whenever you're doing something personally, it's like, oh, I'll just flippy-floop around here for a while.
I'll flippy-floop. And I don't know. It feels like 15 minutes can feel like a million, or it can feel like 15 seconds.
Yeah, for sure. It can be like, oh wow, I'm late to get back to what I was doing.
Yeah, and then you suddenly look up and you're like, squeezing into that other time. Yeah. So what's going on, man? How's your Elden Ring?
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. Nobody's playing it.
Yeah, I do not know what that is. And if I knew what that was, I definitely would not have put 2 entire work week worth of hours.
You're 80 hours in already?
Almost, yeah.
Wow.
You know, it's a 4:30 a.m. situation.
Oh, you're putting it in.
Today was the first day I haven't played since it came out. No joke.
Are you jonesing hard?
No.
Adam Hartel.
What's up, Adam?
No, Adam Hartel in the house.
I definitely needed the break. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's good. I've been allotting myself like 1 to 2 hours a night to play Elden Ring. So I'm 7 hours in.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's impressive, dude.
For me, that's a lot.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty wild.
It is pretty wild. I've been putting in the time.
You really, yeah. I mean that's a big deal.
Is Elden Ring hard? Is the sun a fusion engine in the sky?
Does Dolly Parton, is she the Pope and a bear in the woods?
She is kind of the Pope.
You know, like, it's all the same thing. Yes, it is hard.
Is the Batman an excellent movie?
Who asked that? Oh.
Nobody. No.
I
was being rhetorical.
Yeah. Just really wanted to see if that was a real thing.
Real question.
Yes, it is hard and it is very fun.
It's very, very hard. And I, the only other Souls game I played was
Bloodborne.
Adam, sorry. Matt and I have had this conversation about, do we just talk about Batman? And
yeah, we've really been.
We're gonna try our best
Oh, see, he said no spoilers.
I know
dude.
we're gonna try our best, and I want Adam to hang out with us.
So here is one of my complaints about the Batman. All right.
He doesn't eat any spaghetti.
There's
no
Italian,
spaghetti scenes.
There's no Italian food at all in the movie. And I thought it was cool that Mr. Freeze was in the film, but Schwarzenegger was just a little goofy, just like he always is. And
yeah, it's a little.
Uma Thurman, great as always. For sure. Couldn't really get past George Clooney. Thought it was an odd casting, but everything else, solid, holy rusted metal right there.
The Batman that's on everybody's lips, is Batman and Robin.
That is the one they are talking about, and that is what I understand.
Nothing else.
That's what I understand.
He pays with a Bat credit card.
He does.
Which, like, I don't know. I just the thought of like Batman going to the bank and taking out a credit card and Batman's name, and
it's brilliant.
And George Clooney Batman doing it.
Yeah, it is brilliant. That's what you're thinking. You're thinking about how brilliant it is.
That movie. I wonder if in due time, because it it was so campy, and I don't think like anybody and nobody like enjoyed that movie when it was theirs. I wonder if like over time it'll kind of get its own place as a comedy, as like a comedy legend Batman.
I don't know, like
because it feels campy as hell.
I also feel like it has been long enough for us to figure out if it's going to go down in history. I was a kid whenever it came out.
He wholly rusted rocks.
He wholly rusted battle.
He did it. I mean, they went out and they did it, and they made that movie.
It was a beautiful time.
It was a different time. Imagine, like, they say like Batman, every era of Batman kind of fits its generation.
Yeah.
And
that's
like
what
Batman
says.
What does Batman Forever say about the time we were in?
Yeah. We were either mourning for the loss of or begging for the gift of Val Kilmer.
Yes. It was he was fine. I don't know. It's like
it's Val Kilmer.
I think he deserved a different movie.
Yeah, I think Val Kilmer was going crazy by then.
He was already there.
Yeah, I think he was already like on the verge of full blown psycho.
Full blown psychosis. The thing that happens to actors over time.
It's just a normal thing.
They go.
It's like what you sign up for. You're like, well, one day.
I mean, your job is to literally spend time in other people's heads.
Yeah.
And with people who are not your own.
So Adam Hartel. Have you've seen the trailers? You know what characters are in this film.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to
know
gauge
who Batman is.
Yeah, like it's who he is, like secretly his identity.
I'm sorry,
I'm trying to figure out what we can and can't talk about.
Danny DeVito. Yeah, I know. I mean, I guess we can give our general impressions of it.
Cool.
I mean, we can say like, yeah,
it's
or totally weak sauce. I don't know.
Yeah, it was great, man.
It shreds, dude.
All of the, I think, well, the wild thing about it is you can't really say like, oh, the one thing that really stood out to me was, it's like there was so much to take away from the film. I mean, just the cinematography and the lighting alone are just absolutely just stellar, dude.
Lots of visual candy.
Very, very beautiful stuff.
You can tell that they were steeped in sources, right? Like
Big time.
they're pulling deep from the comics
Yeah,
and
man.
from the lore and the world, and that kind of like pays respect to all, to the fandom, because obviously a director, like, they're gonna put their stamp on it,
Yeah.
when they're directing. Burton has a very Burton feel, of course. Nolan has I would say, like, a very clean aesthetic. Like, he likes kind of sharp lines, and his characters speak in a very, I want to say, like, high-minded way. They talk about very lofty philosophical things, like justice and purpose and symbols, and all that stuff. Reeves is, I think, not doing that. He's not putting his stamp on it. He is just showing you the exact world of Gotham. I don't feel like there's any moment where I'm like, that's the director. He's doing a very director thing.
That's funny, dude. I was actually wondering where you were going with that, because I was like I didn't feel like that at all with this movie. But you were like, yeah, so I didn't feel like that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like where Reeves puts his stamp on stuff, and I don't feel like he does that at all. Nolan, after years of watching Christopher Nolan's movies, he has a visual language that he likes. He has a visual aesthetic. I would say even the technology that he has Batman employ is a little futuristic.
Yeah.
It's the Batcave in the what was it, in the second movie, Dark Knight? It's a cube.
Yeah.
He lives in a literal cube.
It's the Bat Cube.
It's the Batcube, and that's kind of that's Nolan's aesthetic. He's cubey. He likes the cubes.
Man loves cubes.
The man loves cubes. And you look at the Tumbler or the Batwing, and his aesthetic is very stealth bomber, and it's so he has that aesthetic, and I don't get that feeling from Reeves. I think Reeves he's like, I want to put everything that's in the lore, that's in the comics, on screen. And I think, like, there's maybe a couple places where he takes some liberties, but it's not like you're just like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this aspect quite a bit between
Definitely
ourselves,
in our correspondence.
I definitely I think one thing that is so cool about the movie that sets it apart from all the other Batman movies are Batman movies. Is just the timeline. He's brand new.
Yeah.
He is a brand new Batman, and that is like we haven't really seen that, and we haven't seen this
like
version of Batman.
Gotham, If you watch Gotham, and I watched all of Gotham, and it's a very silly, fun show.
Yeah,
that's like a young Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, and that I mean, just because of like that, I was like, I wasn't too interested, so I haven't checked it out. But
here's the thing: is it's actually good. It's not like, I would say it's not the Flash, where the Flash has a little level of cheese to it.
Yeah,
it definitely gets cheesier as it goes on. Like it has a little bit of that television cheese ball.
Yeah,
but the guy who plays Gordon, and I forget his name,
Ramsey.
Ramsey Gordon.
Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay. Yeah, the way Gordon Ramsay plays James Gordon is
You donut.
you absolute donut. What the hell are you doing?
It's cold. It's flavorless.
It's cold. It's flavorless.
He just cooks some bat soup every day.
Look, I'm back late. I'm cold. I'm flavorless. I just want some soup. Bloody hell, it's cold.
Mm-hmm.
Gordon Ramsay is James Gordon is my new favorite Gordon.
I like that. Yeah, that's we should meme that.
We're gonna develop that. Well, yeah. We'll meme.
We'll meme.
We'll meme. We have that power.
We have that power now.
I don't enjoy making memes. I'm not clever enough. Gotham. Anyway, Gotham was it's rad, dude. And if you need something to watch, you can watch that television.
That's the thing about television is you can just sit there and watch it.
You can watch it. You can put it on. You can pay attention or not.
You don't have to.
You don't have to. You can do whatever you want. You're an adult.
It's not your responsibility.
You can play Elden Ring while you watch Gotham.
You can do that for sure.
You can do that.
I can do that. Yeah.
You can do that. Yeah. Definitely one of my favorite theatrical experiences, I think.
Man, it was it was definitely it was great. It was a great film.
I had to pee twice, so it is a long movie.
It is a 3. I actually didn't look at the run time. I just assumed it was like over 2 hours. And I mean, I never check my phone in films, but I was like, what the hell? I looked, I was like, it has been 3 hours.
It's a little shocking. But at the same time, I think I'll appreciate it more as time goes on.
Oh, I've been wanting to rewatch it all week.
Yeah.
I almost went and saw it again today. I was like, man, I mean, because I want to soak it in. There's just so much to take away. And it's, like I said, I think the biggest thing I would say to someone is like, don't go in expecting your run-of-the-mill Batman movie. That's for sure.
Yeah,
it's got a whole different thing.
It's a whole different vibe, and I think it was a really welcome change.
Oh, big time!
I felt great about all of it. Robert Pattinson is an excellent Batman.
Yeah, and the versions of Batman we've seen, they've been done many times, and they've been done very well.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, for now for so long, it's been Bale's Batman.
Yeah,
it's been his Batman. Dude, kind of like he set down some markers with the character. You know what I mean? Like the voice is certainly the most unique thing that he's added to it. But in addition to, I think, some of the thoughtfulness of the character, the way he would think about things or philosophize, or
the thing that I keep coming back to, like, not even really reluctantly, but I think about it the same way that I felt about Joker. Like I really, really liked Joker, and I felt like just the way that film read was completely different than almost any other DC movie that we'd seen at the time. You know what I mean?
A very different take on the Joker that we've seen.
Yeah, and in the entire universe, all the characters, it was, and the Batman is by no means similar in any other way than that to the Joker, but it was it's just one of those parallels I keep drawing. I'm like, man, it kind of feels like that new different take that in this case was just, excellent.
I think they're getting better about the the realism, portraying the city of Gotham as a character.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it is a flavor of the city. You know, it's corrupt. It's
And in this movie, it was like kind of fantastical, which I think is important.
there's
you
a
know,
little
like,
a little bit of magical realism in there.
yeah, it's important to like keep that comic book tone of like, oh, like this isn't New York City. This is like
This is
this
its
is
own.
Gotham.
Yeah,
You know,
this is
is
Gotham. You know, where you can have a dude, you know, who's got a nickname, the Penguin.
you know,
You know that. So the city itself has a feeling too. Although you get some of that in Nolan's, where you know, the dudes are running around mimicking Batman.
oh, of course, yeah.
You know, that's hilarious. The hockey pants line.
Hockey pants line.
Hockey pants. You know, the guys come in. They're a bunch of like fake Batmans, and then the real Batman shows up, and he's got like all this sweet ass tech.
That's
You've seen the
tell.
movie.
I am. What are we talking about right now?
Okay. In Dark Knight.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
You know what that made me think of though was whenever we both were so surprised to see that post on the internet where Bane is like knitting in like almost all of his scenes. Do you remember that shit?
Yeah, I remember that.
And it's some sort of obscure reference that like completely checks out, but you like can't even. You're so distracted in the scenes to where you don't notice, but he is straight up like knitting something. And it's like, what?
He's doing a crochet.
Yeah.
We love Bane, don't we?
Oh man. Sure do.
I mean, oh man, I mean that's one of Nolan's hugest contributions with Bane. The voice.
Oh yeah,
Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
A lot of people, a lot of mixed. Some people have a lot of mixed emotions on Bane, on Tom Hardy's Bane.
I was about to say like on that Bane for sure. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was really cool. It kind of had an entirely just like a poetic feel to the entire character.
He, I think he's got the intimidation down perfectly. Like he can just, you know, when he's talking to the lawyer, Ben Mendelsohn's character, you know, and he just like lays his hand on him.
Dude,
like, you think you got power? And then they went out for tacos afterwards. It was a very nice gesture.
Molded by it.
By it.
And that's just something to think about.
Yeah. How are you molding? Are you having a good time? What are you working on? You working on your little bad boy?
Yeah, I'm just.
You're doing some eyeball stuff.
Well, I'm just fleshing out these tentacle shapes. They were just tubes.
They were just meat tubes?
They were meat tubes. I'm about to go back into Dynamesh land and get some of that ocular veinage wrapping around these eyeballs here.
Ocular veinage. I love it.
There we go. Yeah, just sculpt one of these and duplicate them around.
Save yourself the time. Right? Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, and I think I think for now just to call it, I'll just keep them all nice and smooth and organic, and we'll do some weird textures and slimy textures on them or something, make them cool.
So you're not gonna go like shells, like Shelly?
Not today. It's also one of those things to where I don't know if I want to spend like, 2 or 3 more weeks on it.
Yeah, I figure this one is something I'm going to be noodling on for a while.
Oh yeah, the Goliath man.
Yeah.
It's a full-blown
well, you know,
project.
you have that conversation in your head, like, how far can I take it?
Oh yeah.
You're like, well, I could take it, you know, all the way, do the loops, proper topo, the whole thing, UDIMs, all that stuff, and then I go, you know, do I really want to take it that far?
Yeah, because you get about like 60% there, and then you're like, you know what?
You know what?
This is gonna sit on my extra drive for
for a very, very long time. I'm not sure I want to commit to that quite yet. So, I mean, I'm loving this. I'm having a lot of fun, but at the same time,
we're always yearning for.
Because now you have the thought too. You're like, oh man, do I want to take this into Unreal? Because it would be rad. It would be pretty rad to have them,
awesome.
like, to pose them up in the thoughtful pose on a castle with the rain effects.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
And then I'm like, then I got to learn Unreal.
Yeah, on top of the 30 other steps, like
yeah,
that I need.
Everything, yeah, on top of like everything else, posing, the whole thing. I definitely know I want to sculpt the other ones. Just because it would be rad to have like the whole set.
Yeah, just have the whole gang. Then you got to print them all.
And then you have the thought like, oh man, maybe I can find somebody to rig it. We can do blend shapes, do a short film.
Just, you know, do the full first season, 30 episodes.
we'll just recreate the intro, have the battle, the armies coming at each other.
And then you just have the thought. Yeah, that is how most projects go. It's like you get really excited. You're like, man, I'm gonna do 900 things with this, and then you're like, man, that's a lot.
And then you make it like to a certain distance, and you're like, and I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's always a new shiny project around the corner.
Around the creature
there's
corner.
There's a new idea that you haven't done yet. Dyny this guy together. Dynamesh.
Oh, boys. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. What else is going on? What else are you watching?
What else? What else?
Like I'm watching. We talked about this, but I'm watching Pam and Tommy.
Lame. Yeah, lame. I'm watching.
Hey, lame. Your taste of garbage. You're a terrible person.
Yeah, it's bad.
Bad.
I'm watching Ozark right now. My buddy's been trying to get me on Ozark, so I've been watching that.
Criminal family, right? They're bad people. They're generally bad people.
Jason Bateman, some money laundering. No monsters.
No, that's weird.
Nothing like that. Just regular people doing bad stuff.
That's, it's good TV.
But every Friday for the last month, we've been getting together, me and my buddy, and I've been showing him all the Hatchet movies. So we did watch Hatchet 3 last Friday.
You love the Hatchet too.
Well, isn't this the part where you say, I haven't seen the Hatchet movies?
I haven't seen the Hatchet.
And then I'm like, Jared, you got to watch the Hatchet movies.
And I'm like, yeah, I need to watch the Hatchet.
And then, 6 years later, we're on an online stream right now having the same conversation.
You think I won't watch it? You think
I don't think you're gonna watch.
I have nothing but time. All I do is watch everything.
Do you like Friday the 13th?
I do like Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
I do.
Then you are gonna love the Hatchet series.
The Hatchet series.
They are hilarious. They are ridiculous. Kane Hodder plays Victor Crowley. Tony Todd's in the first and second one. Who else? Robert Englund is in the first movie. I mean, you've got everybody in this movie.
Okay, all right. It's a piece of history, and you got to watch it.
No, it's amazing, and you have to watch it.
All right. Well, that's good.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
I like
they're amazing. They know what they are.
They're hyper violent, but they know that they are.
Yeah, but they're also hilarious. They're basically making fun of like they're doing like some sort of crazy.
Okay, so it's self-referential.
Yeah, I mean it knows that it's silly as hell, dude. Like it's
Most horror movies know that there's a little bit of that tongue-in-cheek stuff going on in there.
Like the tongue it's in the cheek.
It's in the cheek. It's a full way there.
It was molded by it.
Molded by it.
By it.
You know what I've been catching up on as I'm on season 2 of Raised by Wolves.
Oh, you know, I didn't finish season 1. I was watching it whenever it came out, but I never I can't remember what happened at the time. I moved or something and hadn't watched all of it. Is it good?
Yeah, I decided to, because I just I need something, so I'm like, okay, let's watch some sci-fi now.
Yeah.
And it's weird, man. It's weird stuff.
Yeah. I think I got to episode 3 or 4 maybe.
That's about what I made it to on my first initial watch.
Yeah.
And then I came back to it later.
Yeah, because David Olson's been saying that he's been watching that.
Yeah, right? He's been watching it. I think he watched that whole thing. And so I was like, okay. David Olson likes it. Surely will like it. And it's weird, man. It's really weird. And every episode is just a little bit weirder. But I'm kind of doing that detective work of okay, where are they going? What is this? What's the allegory? Where are they going?
Right.
I mean, so that makes it fun.
Weird stuff. We like weird stuff.
I like weird stuff.
We love weird stuff.
We love weird stuff, don't we, folks? Okay, now I've got that perfect middle finger in there.
There we go. Man, so a couple of episodes ago, I was complaining about a very acute pain in my hands.
Oh dear!
Remember, it was
Yeah.
It was right here, right in this little part.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I'm going to massacre his name, but Adrian Chappell or Chappelle?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Chappell. He's a great dude, man. Killer work. He was watching that episode, I think, a couple weeks after it came out, and he used to be a tattoo artist, and he was like, this is a really common pain that artists have because you're gripping something so small or whatever, and he recommended getting one of those. I have this now on my pen. It's a tattoo machine grip. It's like a quarter-inch thumb.
Oh, no way.
Widens up your grip so it puts less tension on that inside part of your hand. It's been helping a lot.
That's a great idea. Yeah, I noticed that can be one thing that that triggers a lot of pain for people is like, one is death grip, right? You don't need a death grip on your Wacom tablet because you can change your sensitivity.
Yeah, I mean, I'm beyond that. It's just doing anything for like 10 minutes now with that area is like, whew, man.
It gets a little tender.
Yeah, you can just start to feel it.
You're using your Theragun and all that?
Oh yeah. It's like literally this part of my hand.
Huh.
Right here. Yeah. It's not my arm or anything like that. It's that one little part on my hand, but widening up the surface area on the grip like really helps alleviate the pressure on that.
It's really interesting. Let's see. Let's get some music going. Spooky music. That's one thing we have not talked about with the Batman, and probably one of my favorite aspects was the soundtrack is amazing.
I will say that one of the things that I didn't like about the movie on the reel was, the soundtrack was very good, but I don't know, if you point stuff out, if you start pointing stuff out, people are going to be thinking about it before they go see the movie. So it's always difficult for me to commit to griping when a movie is so fresh.
Yeah, I mean, like, little things. This is true of like anyone's opinion that you learn online. They're they're just expressing their thoughts, and you can be like, oh, now you're looking for that thing.
Now you're waiting to.
Now you're waiting for that thing to happen.
Yeah.
And sometimes, even if it's a joke and you don't know it's a joke,
it becomes a thing.
It becomes the thing that you're looking for,
mm-hmm.
And so it can pepper your opinion on it.
So I don't know. Maybe I won't say anything. It's a great film.
A great film. I mean, next week we can do a proper.
Next week, no holes barred.
Next week, if you haven't seen it by then,
it's your fault.
I mean, I'm definitely still thinking about it a lot. That's kind of how I gauge a movie now, is how much I have to think about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, has there been a movie for you that you just like always kind of come back to?
That I always come back to?
Yeah, that you think about a lot.
That I think about a lot.
Think about a lot.
A movie that I just sit down and
I
just think about this movie.
It's just like, well, you could be doing anything.
I could be doing anything.
You could be doing anything, and then just like boom, you think about that movie.
I think of it like I don't know. Give me an example. What are you talking
like
about?
Mad Max. I think about Mad Max a lot.
And why do you think about Mad Max a lot?
Well, Fury Road, to be specific.
I know, but like you're just thinking about it.
I'm thinking about it because it blows my mind. It still is an amazing movie.
You're just like driving down the street and you're like, man, Mad Max was dope.
Well, I don't drive anywhere because I don't leave the house.
You're just.
Let's say I walk the dogs a lot.
You're walking the dogs.
I'm walking the dogs, and I'm like, you know what? Mad Max is a great movie.
Or are you like, oh man, that car's really cool. It reminds me of Mad Max. Is it
Sometimes.
Like that kind of? Okay.
Sometimes.
Okay. I think about Cabin in the Woods a lot.
Oh, that's a good. See, that's a good example.
Yeah, movie's hilarious. Anytime I watch a horror film, I'm always like, because I think that's where I was having trouble with your questions, because like whenever I watch things, I'm like, man, I'm calling back to like a very small handful of films, right? I'm like, oh, that's like this, or that's like that, or stuff like that. But with Cabin in the Woods, anytime I just see some sort of silly trope, I'm like, man, that's like whenever they made fun of that shit.
Yeah, they straight up
in the
called
woods.
that out.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why that's why it's so great, is because it even without the call outs, it stands out on its own.
Oh yeah.
All the way down to the Virgin and the archetypes.
Yeah, the elder gods needing the blood, and everybody's competing against it in their own like horror way.
They're all betting. They're all betting on the creatures.
Yeah, but like the Asian horror or the Asian like scene is very like Ringu, and then I don't know. It's all the way they do it all is just so good.
So you're just driving down the street and you're like, boom, cabin in the woods.
I'm driving down the street and I'm thinking Final Destination 2 every time I'm in the car.
Every
single time.
Whenever you get caught behind a logger, like
people ask me, and it is like it's so like silly. It's such a silly answer, but it is so accurate. They're like, "What is the movie that has scared you the most and stuck with you?" And it is absolutely Final Destination 2. And everybody, no matter how you feel about that statement, anytime you're on the highway, like you're saying, and you're behind a truck with anything in the back of it, you're like, what? This is Final Destination. Like, I have seen this happen. Doesn't matter. I don't care if you don't agree on the surface. It's real.
You're afraid that any kind of like small thing you're gonna get Rube Goldberg, and you're gonna die.
I wouldn't say that it's like
it's gonna be like a comical.
I wouldn't say that I'm afraid. I'm just saying it's like the realist. It's the most like you watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you're like, man, that would never happen to me. Or you watch like Martyrs, you're like, that would never happen to me. You watch fucking Final Destination 2, you're like, damn, that could literally happen to anyone.
Yeah, I could die on a roller coaster. I could see that happening.
I mean, it's wild,
And I agree. You're like, there's the chances of a masked, Jason, a masked undead psychopath coming to get you is very minimal. But dying on a suntan bed,
dude, slipping in the shower and strangulating yourself, like that, I mean, that can happen.
That shit does happen.
Exactly. That's the thing.
That's the thing.
That's the thing.
Yeah. That shit's scary.
Big time.
I think they're doing another show of that.
Another Final Destination.
They're gonna make it a whole HBO show.
No way, dude.
So,
oh my god.
I think it got sold. Which that would be exciting.
I mean, I'm into it.
I'm into it. Mostly been working on my favorite subject, which is hands.
You like hands the most?
Well, because they're really hard. I mean, it's all hard, but like hands are just really time consuming.
Yeah, they really are.
They take a long time. Like his thumb right now is too fat. He's got fat.
I know. Hands for me, I get like, hands are one of those things to where you get like halfway in, you're like, damn, dude, I'm just gonna pull some hands for somewhere else. And then then you're like, damn, dude, I'm too far along to like, I'm literally gonna pull hands from somewhere else and then have to put the same amount of work in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because you use them in, and then you're like, ah.
Yeah.
But we do it. We have to do it.
It happens.
It happens. It's what happens to us. You're like, I'm going to get into this business, sculpt badass creatures, and then you spend most of your time working on hands.
Hands and toes.
Hands and toes.
I'm going to open up a shop called Hands and Toes.
All hands and toes.
I had an idea for a kind of like a funny movie that's like horror themed, and it's called Bloodbath and Body Works.
Bloodbath and Beyond.
Bloodbath and Beyond is what I meant to call it. Like Bed Bath and Beyond. I don't know where Body Works came from. What is that? Is that a perfume?
Isn't there a movie that's coming out like Werewolves Within? Didn't that take place at a Bed Bath and Beyond or something?
Oh, does it really?
It's got our boy Sam Richardson in it.
And who is Sam Richardson?
We know him from I Think You Should Leave.
That is our boy, and his name is Sam Richardson.
And also Detroiters.
Yeah, I need everything to be Tim Robinson related in my life at all times right now.
So on that news front, they
they got the new thing.
They have new episodes coming in July. There's 6 episodes.
Of I Think You Should Leave, or the new show?
Yeah, I Think You Should Leave.
Oh, I thought it was some sort of new show.
It was, but buried in that article was the date for the next season, and like nobody caught it.
Oh my god!
But basically, yeah, new episodes are coming in July.
Well, that's really great news.
At least like there's something to be hopeful about.
Yeah, absolutely.
We had the Batman, and that was kind of like our beacon.
We had the Batman, and now we need Tim Robinson.
And now we need Tim Robinson to come be Batman. He would be a really different Batman.
Dude, Tim Robinson as any character in the Batman.
As any character would be amazing.
I am ready for it. I'm here. I'm willing. Jared, you're basically best friends with him. You met him that one time.
I met him that one time, so like we're very close.
Y'all are super close and
close,
and you loved each other.
Yeah, not weird at all.
No, it's normal.
I was definitely very cool when I met him.
It's normal stuff.
I was, very normal. According to my wife, I was incredibly normal. And I acted,
oh my
god! I think I said I'm about to drop some swears, so mute it for the kids. But I think I said "holy fucking shit."
That is Tim Robinson. I'm going to die.
I'm a little afraid he's going to put me into a sketch as like some weirdo fan.
Oh man,
that would be terrifying.
I
like,
mean,
that was me,
though, right? You'd be honored, though.
I would. That would be amazing. He probably immediately forgot the encounter.
Oh yeah.
What am I going to say to him? Like, yeah, dude, I just signed Mechagodzilla. You.
I love that.
He's like
just trying to swing your flex around, be like, look at me.
Hey man,
we're on the same level. We can be friends.
We can be friends. I work on stuff. Sit on a computer all day.
I love it.
Very cool. I'm very cool, I promise. All right, so I think we're getting to about the hour when we're going to do a switch up.
Yeah, you going switcheroo?
Yeah, like we take what we're doing and then we stop what we're doing because we've already had, we built too much momentum on it. So we're going to change it up and do a switch up.
The old Dunkaroo.
The old Jimmy John's. Whenever you go visit some place and they're like, you have got to try the food. Mm-hmm. You've got to, dude, when you go here, you have got to try the food.
Yeah.
And it's just like an ear of corn.
It's got mayonnaise and some tasteless cheese on it. It's street corn, and you're like, yeah, dude.
They melted some cheese on a piece of street corn. Like, dude, bro, you've got to try this. This is like a delicacy where I'm from. You don't get it.
You don't understand, and you never will.
Dude, you're not from here, so you don't get it. This is our corn. And it's rad, dude. You gotta try it. Just try it. Does it? And then, okay, try it.
Okay, try it.
In your mind.
Just try it.
This is it, dude.
Come on, just try it.
Yes. And then you're like, it's corn.
Man, it really does taste like corn, doesn't it?
Wow. Like, yeah, I told you. Dude. That's our corn. Lather some mayo on it, bro. Do it how we do down here.
But dude, street corn is really good, though.
Street corn is great, though. I do like.
And it is corn with mayonnaise, a little bit of cheese,
a little bit of mayo, heaping of salt.
It's like just the ingredients of America, just cheese and mayonnaise.
Cheese is the most American thing, I think.
Yeah.
And it's like bland. It's like Kraft cheese, sliced.
It's American cheese,
individually wrapped.
Yeah, they love it.
They love it.
We love it.
All right.
We can't help it. We love it.
So made a little bit of progress, at least.
Oh, dude, he looks great. I mean,
yeah, sinking he's ripped. And I'll probably, I don't know, I might soften some of it down a little bit. His legs are obviously like really jacked. But he's also, if you think about it, he's just doing squats all day long.
All day. He just sits there squatting.
Like, because he's just doing, like, his leg position. He's essentially just doing squats, and he's got to, like, lift this heavy body up.
Mm-hmm.
Birds have hollow bones.
They do.
They do, and I'm wondering if, like, maybe he would have hollow bones.
I think he is way too big for hollow bones. Wouldn't that make him, like, fragile?
He's got to take a punch, and if you punch a hollow bone,
it's going to be a big fracture. Shatter into a million pieces.
All right, well, I'm going to save up. And I think we're going to do some creature posing. We're going to do a switch up.
Do it up, man. Sounds great.
All right. There we go. Pretty fun. And now when I switch up, I have to delete the file so I don't work on it anymore. Because like you'll always go back to it and you'll like noodle on it. But this was where I was last week.
Yeah.
So that was last week. Then that was this week.
Man, yeah, he looks great, dude.
Big change from 1 week of like noodling time.
Yeah,
hanging out in Noodle Town.
Looks awesome.
The arms are more resolved. I think I don't know that I've had to like expand the hands to sculpt them out, but I might shrink them back down a little bit. Did it feel too big? I mean, he's got big hands.
I mean, it works both ways, but they do look big.
They do
you
look
know what
big.
I mean?
His hands are like, and I think partially the fingers are open.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he's got some big old, but it makes him more powerful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I might shrink him down a little bit. But that's the process, right?
Yeah, process is getting it in the shot and seeing what it looks like and be like,
Seeing what
oh,
it
well,
looks like,
yeah.
tweaking it up. It's all proportions with him anyway. But yeah, he looks jacked.
Yeah, he looks great, man. It's huge.
And he looks a little bit more happy here.
Yeah, he's having a good time.
He's having a good time. Well, he's with his buddies, you know, so he's
Yeah.
having a good time. But you don't piss off Goliath.
You don't want to do that.
You don't want to do that. All right. Well, that's cool. Let's do a check-in, Matt Millard style.
Yeah, let's do it. I just been refining some of these tentacle forms. Went in here and added some kind of veinage going on to this eyeball that I have blocked in.
I saw you working on that. That's a really nice way to create that transition from like the tentacle.
That kind of doing that, you know, that Sculptors Pro stuff is so cool. You can just kind of drag stuff out, you know.
You said like you had that in Maya, didn't you?
I have this in Maya, yeah, but just it doesn't matter at this point. It's all just I did that for in practice, right? Like I knew I was going to go back and finish the sculpt and do this and this and this. I just wanted to approach some different ways of like, okay, so how could I have fun with these tentacles?
Well, it's a nice way. I like the transition at the end.
Yeah, thanks, dude. It's gonna be fun. It'll look cool with
That's really, yeah, I like that.
It'll look cool with some nice textures and shaders on it.
Oh, that, yeah, I like that stuff at the end.
Yeah, because then I'll just duplicate this eye, and then start to get another different. Lens. Yeah, well, no, this will be like a secondary transitional.
Oh, like a smaller like film over there. Yes, that's
like
cool.
That. Right. And then you'll have the, you know, you go in here and because the more, just like, you know, like the more geo you have, the stuff has got to be in the model to make it look right, you know, get some overlapping, some nice transitional stuff in there. It'll, whenever the shaders start to interact with each other, the light scattering and refracting, it's going to look so cool.
Have you thought about mesh splat on top of that?
Yeah, I could totally do that on this.
Do a little mesh splat,
especially for the sclera part.
Yeah. I don't like to rely too much on it because it does have kind of a look.
Yeah, it's got that. It's got that exact. Yeah, it's got that exact that kind of way that it looks. But I mean, even just using that snake hook and doing this back into there and just kind of having it connect in, that stuff is gonna look cool.
We realize the downside of posing this guy is going to be fun.
The wings?
Well, it's the wings and the hair.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna.
Is it gonna?
I'm gonna like start grouping stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
But.
Got it.
It's like this guy's gonna be a process. But the first thing I do when I'm gonna pose a character is I try to figure out like, okay, you know, am I gonna put him on all fours, right? Or am I gonna just like take his pose kind of as is?
That is always like for me, like that's always like that one thing that I always think is like, oh yeah, this isn't a big deal. And then the second you get there, you're like, why did I even sculpt this in a pose kind of thing?
You're
it's
like
we just sculpted them on all fours at the first place. Because you know, you gotta like, yeah, just like what you're doing. It's like, man, like this was hard.
That's one thing I did do is I saved out a blank, like a neutral pose, because I want to put like a bunch of these guys together.
Yeah.
Oh, and I realized I have some geo turned off, so it's a good thing I didn't do anything there.
Ooh. Yeah, that will always upset you. Like
Nothing like
nothing like spending like 20 minutes in, in
in a pose
Transpose Master and then being
oh
like,
god,
hey, yeah, the most important part of your model can't come over. And you're like, wow, I'm done today.
really, it's really gone.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so you always be careful and like do a test. You know, just double check. So we're gonna try that again. But I'm gonna try. You know, I have a neutral pose, and then I'm gonna try a couple different poses. Here's a guy. You know, here he is, kind of squatting down, like hunched over. Maybe one where he's like spread up in a threatening pose. You know, just go through you know, the range of kind of emotional behaviors. Is he stalking? Is he on the hunt?
Is he Batman?
Is he Batman? Does he show up at parties?
Does he show up at parties?
Can hit. See, one feature about him is, you know, he'll have kind of this craning neck.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's kind of like a fun area to kind of play with.
Yeah, the neck can be very expressive for sure.
And then if you take the head and like tilt it left or right, see, this is the other thing that you got to be aware of. Make sure, you know, you have everything masked off that you need to mask off. There we go. Nothing worse than like doing like 20, 30 minutes of work and then realizing it was all for naught.
Yeah.
There we go. If you kind of tilt the head, you get a little curiosity in there. Like he's studying you.
He's wanting to smell.
He wants to smell your deliciousness.
He needs it.
This one will make him opening his mouth real wide. And I probably should have done that in a neutral pose. But whatever.
That's okay.
We're already in it.
Yeah, we're already going, and that's
We're
okay.
already going.
That's how
So
it works.
when you do this, just make sure that you're not like stretching stuff that doesn't need to be stretched. Just be careful. Big question I get about like posing stuff all the time is like, how do you pose things? And the answer is just mask and blur a lot.
Yeah, yeah. I'd mask, blur, sharpen, and then blur, and then
blur, and mask, and then sharpen,
keep,
and then
keep going.
And then realize you messed up on an area, so you have to go back.
Mm-hmm.
That's posing. Sometimes you can tilt the jaw a little bit. All about like holding on to the forms that you've created and changing them in a way that like makes sense. Do this. The other thing that's helpful here is that I don't have thickness with the webs. So all that thickness is dynamic thickness.
Oh yeah, haven't committed it to Geo.
I wanted to test it and see what the UVs would look like with dynamic thickness.
Yeah,
and it holds up. Like you don't.
Yeah, I mean, it should be fine for sure.
There's stretching right here.
Well, they will for sure.
But like that, it's so minimal, and I could just paint this out. So it's not even worth worrying about it since, you know, we're not doing production stuff. Like, how much can I get away with?
Enough. If you're just painting in a frame, man, you can get away with everything.
Exactly. You don't have to do all that stuff.
But, you know, I mean, what we run into is especially whenever you are getting further down in the design pipeline and you're starting to lock stuff in, like you want your model and your textures and your paint job to look good from every angle, just in case clients like, hey, I need a turntable, or what does it look like from the back, and you're not like sitting there screwed because you didn't take the time to lock that part in, you know.
It's hard when you're on a deadline, but if you're getting revisions, like, you know, you're going to be doing the character for a while.
Yeah.
Then every time I get a note or a revision, I just think of it as an opportunity to make the model better.
Yeah, for sure.
Make it
take a little extra time and give us some extra love.
Exactly. And then you know, because they're always going to have notes anyway.
Yeah. And plus, that also gives you time to be like, okay, well, I'm getting revisions, so now I can actually set aside some time and set it up the way I need it to be set up for future revisions.
Yeah, that too. That and that'll save you time down the line.
Yeah.
Okay. So playing around with it now, I'm getting an idea for like how I can actually pose this guy. I'm gonna have him kind of like one leg is hunched forward, one leg back. You know, it's the same thing I've been talking about for years, which is just opposites. One leg forward, one leg back. Sometimes with the pose, you just have to break it and go for it.
Yeah, for sure.
There's always going to be a little bit of resculpting that has to happen anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, in that, especially in the package.
In that UPS.
In that UPS, Universal Package System.
In that FedEx.
Hunched over look will be fun. You gotta have your guy all hunchy, and maybe I'll give him some rocks to stand on. Maybe there's a couple of these guys kind of climbing up the rocks, and they kind of make a spiral.
They make a spiral?
Make a spiral. Little kind of spiral their way up.
They make a little Uzumaki?
Little Uzumaki. God, I love that book.
I want to do the.
We'll have to do.
I want to do one of the snail people.
Yeah, I was thinking snail people.
Yeah, let's do that. I've been thinking about that ever since I read that. I was like, damn, I need to make that snail guy. That's terrifying.
It's the one I was thinking of is the spiral in the eye. I would love to do a sculpt of that.
Oh yeah. The Jack in the Box, man. That.
Oh yeah.
That is one of the most disturbing. Like, I was like, how has this not been in some insane like 80s crazy movie by now? I mean, that's just one of the coolest kills. Like, I mean, one of the creepiest, just weirdest things.
The hospital.
Yeah. With the mosquitoes.
Oh, the mosquitoes.
Oh, dude, that was awful. That is, the whole book is awful. It's terrifying.
You know, yeah, it's really bad.
It's really fucked up.
Because for me, I've been bitten. You know, mosquitoes fucking love me. So that is that one hit home.
Yeah, and I mean that. Whoo, that is gross. It's gross and scary. It's like a body horror level stuff. It's so gross.
That stuff. I think that's why I love body horror so much. Is that stuff stays with you forever.
Yeah, I mean, everybody Everybody has a body.
Everybody's got
You
a
know?
body. Well, it's like The Fly. You know, The Fly. I still think about The Fly a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's The Fly, and then like The Thing. It's always the right. The Fly, The Thing, the
Batman.
Batman, the Alien.
Yeah, Jared, you can't stop talking about it.
What, the Batman? Oh, I know.
The Batman.
The Batman.
Just kidding. I love the Batman. Yeah, I mean, what else we got? We got the Blob.
The Blob.
And that's it. Those are the only the movies.
That's it. The Arachnophobia.
Just the prequel of the sequel.
I'm surprised they never turned Arachnophobia into a series. I mean, it had all the hallmarks.
Yeah, I mean, in the 90s they were doing the made-for-TV movies with all the bugs, like the mosquito and the ticks and The Stuff. Love that movie.
The Stuff, yes.
Mm-hmm. That's one of my favorites of all time.
The Mist.
Well, The Mist, one of the best endings ever.
Oh God, the greatest ending. The guts that it took to make that ending.
Yeah, like I just wonder how that was rolling over, with the execs and producers, and they're like, bro.
Well, apparently they hated it. They wanted a happy ending.
Of course they did. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm surprised it made it. Ortega did all those.
Yeah. Which still blows my mind. The level of mastery from him and Tran is amazing.
Yeah, it's always inspirational, man. Good people.
What's up? Welcome. Thanks for coming to hang out with us. We're making some monsters. I'm posing this sick, nasty dude, and then Matt's working on his beholder.
Just beholding.
That's
I might actually, it's my dog chewing on his bone.
He's munching.
Better chewing on his bone than screaming in my face.
Like my dog's case, they'll just, our dog ate the cookies. I told you. I mean, you saw that post. Gilly ate. She went on a whole binge. I was very disappointed because I wanted to eat those cookies. What's up, Master?
Master of puppets.
Master of masters.
Master of puppets are pulling the strings. Kind of forgot that people were here. I sang that.
We're still live.
That is my apologies to everyone.
Sometimes you get in a zone. Right. We're gonna posing the webs was a bad idea. Why did I put these on the character?
Yeah, that's a rough spot to be in, man.
Yeah. I think I'm just gonna have to flex the arm. Sometimes you just have to brute force it.
You just gotta go for it, man. Just make it work.
And that's why I kept them single-sided too. So this is kind of like standard creature pose kind of stuff. One leg forward, one leg back. Oh no, I forgot the nails. Okay, so good tip here. is group your stuff together, like group your whole dude together. That way, when you're selecting things, you don't have to do it all over again, just like I did.
On the road again.
On the road again. I'm being stalked by a creature on the road again. It wants to eat all my fleshy bins.
All my fleshy bins.
That's
My
what I call my
bins.
organs.
Oh, okay.
My fleshy bins.
I like it. I appreciate it.
My fleshy bins. You know, you have to take out your trash bin, your organic bin, and your flesh bin.
I like it.
Recycling, and then your flesh bin. See how much tolerance I have for this. Where I'm like, I'm only one pose. That's it.
Yeah, you're like, you know what? I'm done.
I'm done. I did it. We're done. I don't want to do this anymore. That's what happens when you get too ambitious.
Yeah, and you know, we want to be pleased immediately. We're like, I want to get this done right now. Turns out
it's going to take a lot of work.
Turns out gonna need a minute.
Turns out it's going to take a while. That was a bad idea.
Bad. Yep, he is chewing that up. Man, he's almost eaten that entire bone. This dude will just devour stuff. It's insane.
My dog, Gilly, she knows where the bones are.
Yeah.
And she'll just stand by it. You know, stand by because I put them up high so she can't get on the counter. And she'll just stare at me until I get her a bone.
Yeah, she'll be like, hook it up.
Looks at you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you tell her no, you are the worst person on the planet.
You're bad.
You are a bad person.
Yeah, you're bad.
And then she gives you that guilty look like, why do you not love me?
I thought that we had an understanding and a bond.
We were so cool together once.
But alas, I have been betrayed by my master.
It's the worst. Let's see. Jared, did you attach the plane to the creature's body? How will you finish it? I mean, will it be attached? No, I didn't. I didn't attach the webbing here. The reason why is because for this very reason, because I knew in posing that it would be hell on earth to do that. So because I'm only gonna just paint over this dude. And there's really, I say paint over, but I don't really need to paint over anything. So basically, no, I'm not going to attach the webbing. Now in a production setting, you know, Matt will tell you it's all got to be in there.
Oh yeah, right? For sure.
But this all got to be in there because, you know, that's a rigging issue. It's a dynamics issue. It's all kinds of stuff. So for production, yeah, you would absolutely want to sew that webbing in there. But for ZBrush's sake, for my sake, for, you know, not wanting to do that, I'm just going to keep it real simple.
Simple is good.
Simple is good, and complex is bad.
Simple is fun.
Simple is fun, and way less time consuming. Like if you want to spend, you can spend months noodling on a character forever.
And that is, that's up to you.
I mean, if you are down for that and like you want to do that, there are artists out there who will like really take something to that level of finish, and I'm not that guy.
Yeah, some of these projects that come out, it's like that you see on the internet. It's like, wow, that is incredible, and then you realize you're like, this person probably spent like months on this thing.
I mean, unless they're like super fast,
Yeah,
and they're real.
I mean, like that thing you just posted that was that incredible like ecrochet, with all the fat pads and the veins and the skeleton and the muscles.
Oh,
dude, like that took forever. Forever to do.
Let me show you what we're talking about here. It was just this is Neil Biggs, and he did this ecrochet, and let me make it big. So shout out to Neil here for just like doing incredible work. Look, I mean, he did every possible layer, and it's all like,
it's insane.
It's insane. All the veins, the cartilage, the bones, the organs. I mean, just stunning work through and through. So, massive, like that's a lot of work. And he said he built all those veins out of Z-spheres.
That's crazy.
And he showed his Z-sphere breakdown for that too. And my God, dude, that's enough to like make me cry.
Yeah,
in my sleep. I would definitely cry. Question was, did I have a concept for this guy? It was a very loose concept. I'll pull that up in the meantime. Matt, what are you doing? You're in Keyshot?
No, man.
You're doing real stuff.
Yeah, I'm in Maya just checking out this a lighting scenario. I took a break from sculpting, kind of like whenever you started switching over. I'm just playing around with some of these materials that I have. I'm thinking about adding some caves or something in the background.
Yeah, you need a cave. That looks gnarly.
He's got to have a cave, man.
You got to have a caveman.
You have to have a single caveman.
You have one cave.
You get one cave, one man, and you mix them together.
So the question was, did I start from a concept? This was as far as I took my idea, which was just like a rough pencil sketch.
Oh wow, that's awesome though. Like you can really see the resemblance.
The evolution, the evolution of it. So that's it. Oh yeah. Better than rushing and having to redo a ton of work or hate what you've done and be over it. Take a long break and come back with fresh eyes. Absolutely. That's we talk about that a lot, is like walk away. Like walk away from it for a little bit, come back to it, like get a break. Go eat some ham.
If you like ham, eat the ham.
Eat the ham.
Eat the ham.
Look, you're gonna eat the ham.
Listen. You're gonna have to eat the ham, Your Honor.
If you want to get good, you have to eat the ham.
I want to eat the ham, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I want it.
I've lost my mind, Your Honor. I would like to eat the ham, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
It's good.
It's just two guys in a courtroom, just like taking up all the court's time.
They're
just like, Your Honor.
Listen, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
Your Honor, Your Honor.
Look, Your Honor. And then your offer. Ah. This is stupid. Pattern brush for the back. I used a VDM. And I think a lot of this was just hand sculpted. I just sculpted. Yeah, a lot of that was just hand sculpted on the way down. So, this is like a flat pose, and it's only because I have them on a flat plane. So as a pose test, like I just want to get to know the model, so to speak. Like what can I do? What can I play with? And like what are some problems in posing? Like this is just to help me kind of solve some issues that come up with it. And then later I'll have more of them on Aspire. And so we can see some more dynamic kind of stuff. Maybe if I'm not lazy and I'm done. It's just posing one character, one creature is enough to make you go like, I don't know.
I know, man. It's especially if you lock something in, it goes both ways. If you lock something in early on, like 5 minutes into your pose, then you're spending an hour making it perfect. Or you're taking an hour to just try and land your pose, and you're like, you know what, whatever, I'll paint it
out. I hate you so much.
I'll paint it out. I hate this.
I hate it. Why do I do this to myself? It's because we're overly ambitious. That's why. We want the best.
We want it all.
We want all the nasties. That's also the fun and the challenge, and like why do I do this? Because what else am I gonna do? Make Hello Kitty?
Google.
You imagine me and Matt sitting in a Hello Kitty factory making Hello Kitty?
Oh man, sitting in a factory.
In a factory.
In a factory making Hello Kitty. That's rough, dude.
I'm sorry, did I take you somewhere?
I used to be in a factory, but it was making Tamagotchis.
No way.
Dude, of course, no way. I didn't do that. But
was that triggering?
That triggered me so bad.
You were triggered.
I'm triggering.
Don't trigger.
I get triggered.
I get hungry.
I'm going hungry.
I'm going hungry.
All right, screw it.
Lots of masking and rotating.
That's all it is.
There is something fun about the fingers. Like, because they're super spindly and weird. There is something a little fun about that. As long as you don't mess with the mesh or change the naming convention, it all sends back perfectly fine.
Oh, over in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get to that point to where like I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna save this material, and then anytime it doesn't work. Mm-hmm.
The connection breaking changed once I got my new machine, and I wonder if it's because it's stored in the memory.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's all vertex order, vertex color, and name. For sure,
yeah,
but
yeah, naming for sure. And ZBrush is weird like that sometimes, and so is Keyshot. They're both weird.
It's a weird time to be alive, you know.
I would agree with that. I would agree. There we go. Yeah, it's got weird fingers.
It really does, dude. I
It really
love
has like weird. I don't think I've ever made a creature with like really long, spindly fingers like this, and it's pretty fun.
You know, something is just.
Might be fun to do some drool. Right? Got to do some drool.
Yeah, get some drool in there. Are you gonna paint it, or are you gonna?
I might just do it with cloth dynamics.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
I'm going to see if I can at least get him into Keyshot today with the pose. I think that's it. I think we're going to call that. And then maybe if I have time, do another one. It's looking very chupacabra.
Chupacabra.
Choop the choop. Takes you on the choop the loop.
Right on the choop the loop, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
Your Honor.
He's got a stam. He couldn't have possibly done it.
He couldn't have possibly done it.
He's got a stam
He's got
on his body.
He's got a Stan Bigley.
Stam Bigley.
Stan Bigleysons.
That's the worst one of all. That one comes for your whole family. And maybe I might have to like put some fur on his crotch just to cover the crotch.
I like it.
You like it?
I like that.
A little fur crotch.
A little bit of a fur crotch. I like it.
Okay, I think I'm done. Finished it. It's done. We're gonna T-pose it. Send it back. Did I use automatic topology? Yes, I zero meshed it. Pretty much just a blanket zero mesh. Did not do anything. No editing outside the mesh that I got from Zero Mesher. Now, normally, again, we talk about production. Yeah, you're going to want to, do topo the right way, but because this is just a, just a creature concept sculpt, no like heavy topology required. So everything I zero meshed and just unwrapped in ZBrush real quick, like these teeth here. These are just straight up zero mesher. And I don't even have like subdivision levels on them. I've just been using dynamic subdiv. That's because of the maps that I baked out substance. There's a little bit of bump in there. Now, I probably should go in and do a little bit of sculpting on these, but not going to bother. I want them to be smooth. I want them to read as smooth anyway. So it's mostly just like a nice texture issue. So I've got him saved. He looks good.
Dude, nice. Yeah, that's looking scary.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. It's just, it's a basic creature pose.
I like that. I like the head tilt. Head tilt is nice.
And, we'll continue to either do a couple things. Either I'll do another, throw another guy in another pose, and then maybe I'll create like an alpha creature. There's always that one creature that has the like the mohawk, you know.
Right.
So you got to have like the alpha creature, the one that has like a red mohawk or some, you know, something like that.
Ooh, yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna save it, and then I'm just gonna send it to Keyshot just to do it. So that's pose 1. Now, eventually, if I want to compose a scene with a bunch of these guys, it becomes really heavy to put a bunch of these guys in the scene. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to decimate everything down with UVs. So my UVs, my textures still work, but it's not heavy on the scene because this guy at full resolution is like, you know, with all the parts is 50 million.
Ooh,
So,
yeah.
And, you know, 50 million is nothing for Keyshot. Like it can handle that. But if I want to put, you know, 5 of these guys, each at 50 million, that's going to kill me. So it's going to take me like a week to decimate all those dudes. Just because I have no interest in like rigging or doing anything like that with these. This is just to get it in a Keyshot. So when you're doing a full scene like that with a bunch of creatures, you gotta decimate. All right, I'm gonna send it over to Keyshot, I think.
Yeah, you said, are you gonna put some rocks and stuff in there?
Yeah, I'll do a proper scene. For now, I just want to kind of get one pose with this guy in there, and I should probably save out all my materials as well. So create a, it's always good to create a folder with, new materials, that you have everything in there. That way, if you do break the link from ZBrush to Keyshot, you just have the materials kind of made. So, for example, I'll create a new folder, call it SCULPT, just because that's what I've been calling this creature. So now I've got my SCULPT folder. Now I just start naming like body skin. Everybody wants to watch me do naming conventions. But because these guys are all going to share the same UVs, same textures, it's just really easy to drag and drop. And since I already looked at this, so those materials just start stacking up. You start saving them. And some of them are already made from materials that I've made prior to this. So a little bit of work up front is going to save you a lot of work down the line. Question, Matt, were you thinking about growing and shrinking the iris? Are you going to do like a blend shape on that?
I played around with the idea of actually doing some animation work on it, but I think that's easy enough. Earlier I had a sculpt deformer on, so whenever you rotated the eye, it would kind of push around the geo around it. But I don't know. I mean, it's all possible, but I don't know if I'm going to spend like much more than 1 or 2 more sessions on this guy for sure. I just want to get like some cool pictures out of it and be like, okay, let's just move.
It's that same trap that happens every time where you're like, oh, I could do this and I could do this.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Good.
like, I could do so much stuff, but at the end of the day, I don't want to work on this project for more than like 4 more hours.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
want to do some more stuff, you know. But you can also, the thing is especially with what we're doing, we're just having fun. So I can hop back and forth between several other projects. Be like, you know what? Today I want to mess around with some dynamics, and maybe I'll pull this guy out and be like, let's see what we can do with this.
Claws. You're getting some weird echo buzzing sound in between. Not sure what that is. It might be my machine firing up, so you can tell when I'm doing like a heavy duty activity, because my machine might be firing up, or it could be Matt's dog, which is chewing on a bone.
It's probably my dog. He is
He is,
chewing on
he
a
is going
bone
to
right now.
town on that boy.
You still getting it, dude? He's still getting it. Yeah.
He's having a great time.
Oh, were you just growing and shrinking the iris? Was the question. I thought he was asking about deforming the iris. No, man. What I was doing was running a color correct node through this iris and adjusting the contrast and black levels and playing with the hue and saturation. My apologies. I didn't understand the question.
Didn't understand the question. All right. So I've saved out all my materials. We're ready to go. I'm going to send them over. Make sure everything's at the highest subdivision level. And shoot them right on over. Adam Hartel, you got to go.
Have a good one, man.
Thanks for hanging out with us. We love you. All right. Let's send this nasty boy. And now is the question of like, did everything break? Is it all broken now?
Yeah, let's see it. Is it gonna pull through for the team?
I bet like 1 or 2 things breaks, because I did do a little renaming. But that's why we save our materials. And then also, do I have thickness turned on? Yes, I do.
Is there an easy way to change the color of the eye without painting it again?
I mean, you could do a color correct.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Is I'm just sliding here.
Okay. Hey, I'm a 3D art. Name without a name says, "Hey, I'm a 3D artist at age 15. I have 3 years experience with Blender, Unreal, and 1.5 experience with Substance, After Effects, and ProBro. And I've worked with a bunch of YouTubers and making their animations. What should be my next steps? I am from India." Okay. What I tell one, it's awesome that you're passionate about this at 15. I wish I knew, I wish this stuff existed when I was 15. What I would say is work on your portfolio. That's number one. Whatever it is that you want to do, whether it's modeling or texturing, whatever it is, that's your portfolio. So your portfolio says everything. So just work on your portfolio, and then make a list of studios that you want to work for, whether they're game or film or whatever it is. I suggest the top 5, bottom 5, where you where you do your top 5 studios and then your bottom 5 studios. So like ILM, Weta, Scanline, whatever your top 5 are, and then your bottom 5, which are like studios that may not be as well known, but like they need people. So make a list of studios that you want to work for. Look at artists who are working at those studios, and then start producing a level of work that that is comparable. It's so easy. But no, just keep working on your portfolio. That's the big one. Because that's That's what you're telling people that you can do and that what you're passionate about. So if you love creatures and characters, that's what you should focus on. If you love creatures, you're going to be learning anatomy. And if you love environments, you're going to be, as well as everything else, but you should learn lighting and mood, especially Unreal. It's not just like, if you're using Unreal, yes, you can use Megascan's assets, but can you also model, your own environments and put them into Unreal? Anything you want to add, Matt? Did I lose him? Is he gone? Am I gone? Oh, one of us.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
Here I am.
Here you are.
I'm here.
I lost all my texture connections.
Did you really? Are you having to?
Yeah, they all
are you
broke.
having to go back?
Yeah,
in
they all
and-
broke.
But it's a classic thing.
It's a classic thing, but like, hey, not a big deal. I did. The only thing that didn't break were the webs.
Oh well, that's.
Oh no, those broke.
Oh no, those were ruined as well.
Those definitely broke.
Yeah, man. Sorry, I was just in the zone.
No, it's okay.
I was trying to.
The zone is the place to be.
I was having a connection issue myself. All right. Virus sclera. Yeah, what was he saying?
Man, I wish I had that stuff at. I wish I had all that stuff at 15. Megascan.
Yeah, I know. I mean those didn't. I remember I was in school whenever they were like, "Yo, this is in development, and it's gonna come out, and it's gonna be awesome." It's still relatively like.
It's still new. Yeah, like.
That's what's insane is like, and it has already just become this just insane resource. It's like, oh wow, dude.
I will say that everything that I've seen so far that is Unreal has a very Unreal feel to it.
Yeah, that's the nature of.
That's the nature of the tool that you're using.
It's the nature of the engine. It's PBR stuff is always going to look PBR unless you have some really good post processing on it, And it looks more and more amazing every day.
It does. Sure. I mean, I love it.
But, it's especially weird for me in look dev shots on characters. Hey, buddy. Like I see the characters and they look great in Marmoset, and I'm like, wow, that does look like a PBR render, but that looks, it looks great. Good. It looks really, really, really good.
Snap to Bradley.
Yeah, I'm on the. Let's see here. See if I just screwed that up. Nice.
Turning the lights on just so I can see where the hell my character is sitting.
Oh, dude, yeah, he looks great, man.
And then what you can do is you can go and add geometry and then go, let's see. You can add a ground plane here in Keyshot. Let me pull this up. So you go to lighting, add geometry, add ground plane. And it basically adds an invisible ground plane that's super huge. So it creates geometry. and then you can assign textures and stuff to it. Or it'll stay invisible. Right now it has an invisible texture attached to it.
Oh, someone asked about that curve deformer tutorial. Here, let me show this. This is really easy, dude.
Oh yeah, here, let's toss it up.
Let's see how poorly I screw this up. Let me just see. I actually might not even have let's go to a new camera here. Yo, it's weird having, there we go, having this on my Wacom. I'm gonna have to move it over actually. Everything is all tiny. Give me half a second. I'll pop it up.
Oh, you know what? I have a texture already made. I have.
You know, oh man, this isn't even the right scene. I thought I had this scene open with this thing. I might not have enough time to show this tonight. Let's see here. Is that it? Oh, here we go. Okie dokie. Now, how do I stop sharing that one?
Up. We're back. So this is what he's looking like now, and I've got a little ground plane in there. So it's like he's starting to look gnarly.
Yeah, that looks dope, man.
Now we can start kind of like coming up with some shot ideas.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like I like these shots. Let's see. I like this one a lot. Throws the head off to the side. Nasty. Nasty boy.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. It looks looks great, man.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Let me see what part.
Okay, I am set up. I can show this now.
Okay, show your thing. You got your boy. Okay.
Do we have the thing? Okay, cool. So I think the question's about the curve deformer, and it's a curve wrap, actually. That's what it's called. Where is this at? Okay, we're back. So basically, this is the low-res geometry of the tentacle here, and this is the eyeball. Just go ahead and center all this and freeze this stuff. All you have to do is you've got your geo here, have your tentacle, and this is a curve. I'm going to kill this curve off and just show how this works. Okay, so create CV curve, and actually you want to click on this and make sure you have your projected centering turned on so that it just snaps right to the middle there. And I'll just bang out a little curve. It's not a big deal. This isn't a big deal. This doesn't matter.
Not a big deal.
It's a tentacle. It's supposed to be mushy. It doesn't matter. And then what you do is you're going to go here, select this curve, select your geometry, deform, curve warp. Turn this off here. And then you literally can just kind of start moving this around. But you see it doesn't have it doesn't have that quality you want. It like leaves the curve and stuff. All you're going to do is grab the beginning of your curve and tell it to lock itself right there, lock length. And now you've got fun zone, right? So
it's fun zone.
You can go to fun zone and make it whoosh around, do some fun things. And you can grow your, your soft select here, adjust it however you want. Okay. And then ultimately, like, let's say you have this, let's kill this off. Let's just make it again. Make it again for old time's sake. Because I want to show you how you can just get very easily get that eyeball to follow. So you make a curve and just do it 100 times. Like we said, it's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal, guys.
It's really not a big deal.
It's not that big a deal. Like, don't make a big deal out of it.
And everybody, they're hitting me up and they're like, Matt, I don't know. It just kind of seems like it might be a big deal.
And you have to explain. You have to tell
them.
Like, guys.
It's not. I mean, look at it. It's not a big deal. Okay. So what you're going to do, it's very simple. These are just tricks, man. It's nothing. Like, especially if you're doing concept art and you just need to jam some shit together and you're for some reason working in Maya trying to pull off some crazy scene. Just like stick your eyeball right there, and this whole time you're cross-checking your renders. You're looking at stuff to make sure that it's right. But just grab this, grab that, do another deformer, wrap it up.
It's so
easy. Use that wrap deformer.
What? Let me ask you this: How dense is that geometry?
This is nothing.
It's not ZBrush or anything, did you?
It is, yeah. It's all Z-remeshed.
Okay.
As we say that, I am crashing.
You are crashing as we speak
right now.
Okay. Well,
there we go. No, we're good to go. It's okay. But like I said, it's not a big deal.
Look, it's not a big deal.
Everybody knows that it's not a big deal.
Everybody does it. It's not that big a deal. And it's not gross.
And so if this wasn't the wrong geometry, that totally would have worked. But so it might be actually a big deal now that you think about it.
It might be a little bit of a big deal. It's kind of a big deal.
See? So you got that's how you do it. You just wrap that geo to that curve deformer. And then your base node, you're moving him around and placing him on your model. So you can just duplicate these, pop them all around your model, and you've got the curve deformer.
That's beautiful, dude. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing you just did.
Hopefully some of that made sense.
Question. As a freelancer, are there some methods / models to compute the price you charge for your work? Your rate is kind of based on your experience. My rate is $2 million.
Yeah, I do. Well, $2 million a day, right?
$2 million a day.
And that's and just to be clear, that is 2 gallons of 2% milk.
Day. Not million.
No, you guys, I can already tell you guys got it screwed up. It's not $1 million.
It's not $1 million. No, it's milk. I charge by the gallon.
I'm more of a quart guy myself.
Yeah.
I like to really get precise on my payments.
There are you have to learn what the rates are in the industry, and that comes through conversations. But it's also important to remember that what we're doing is highly specialized. Not, you can learn 3D, but there's a lot of art that comes with it as well. A lot of knowledge over time.
Absolutely. Experience is everything.
Big. Yeah, it's a big deal. And you become a better artist with more experience. So, it's definitely more than a minimum wage job. Even if you have, minimal experience, there's it takes money to learn the software. It takes time and money to learn the software, and you have to charge appropriately. A junior artist living in America can expect to make like 25 an hour.
Yeah, junior artist, 25 an hour. That's like where it's at.
And then a senior artist can make anywhere from 70 to 80 to 120 an hour. Or senior artists can make, up to 3K a week, 4K a week. It depends on like how good you are and how your skills are in demand. If you are a very highly technical artist, you can do very, very well. Obviously, there are sections of the industry that you're going to make more money in. If you are a rigger animator combo, if you can rig and animate, you'll never want for work. Or if you're a technical artist building tools for artists, you'll be in demand. Everybody wants to model. Everyone wants to do environments or creatures or characters. So your work has to be really, really good to stand out and then get noticed.
That's true. I joke. I joke about the industry whenever I say it's like mafioso, man. Like you got to know people and you got to have relationships with people, and it doesn't matter how good you are, especially being in the position of hiring people. It's like, well, this person might be really, really good, but I know that this person is very personable and works really hard and is just as qualified. That's meeting people, working with people, working very well with people, and getting along with people. That's like
it's a huge part of it.
Yeah.
Especially as a young artist, getting your foot in the door. And look, like everybody wants, studios want to hire rock star artists, guys and gals who are really good and amazing. But the thing that happens is you get really busy and they're not able to take every job. So like they need new people to train up, and those people become rock star artists themselves. So start at a studio, get your foot in the door, charge a reasonable rate in the beginning, 25 for a junior, and then onward and upward based on your experience level. As you start building up experience, you'll get more jobs, and you can charge up your rate appropriately as you get more projects under your belt. You get more experience. Eventually, your rate will go higher, and once you start to freelance or you're working for clientele, you may charge different rates for different clients. Like if you have a client that gives you a lot of work, you may give them a break, and because the work they're giving you is very steady. Or if you take a job that is going to be very challenging, then you can charge a higher rate for that and say like, look, this is going to be a lot of time, to dedicate. This is my rate. And if they want it, great. If not, you learned a lesson.
Whatever
their threshold is. But definitely do not devalue the work that you're doing, because if you're making creatures and characters for movies or film or whatever, you have to remember that there's a whole machinery behind you, and that machinery is Netflix and HBO and the movie studios. They're making money off of the products that you're essentially developing for them. So you have to charge a high rate. The other thing is that like artists do not get residuals. We do not get, a lot of times we don't even get benefits. So you have to charge even higher to pay for those costs, to pay for your rent. Like if you're going to do some math, calculate your rent, calculate your costs, sit down and do some number crunching. Look at your daily expenditures, your monthly expenditures, your subscriptions, things like that. Figure out how much money it takes to live a month, and then charge your rate based on that, and then enough to where you're making that and some change for you to store away for a rainy day or when work slows down, things like that. So
yeah, for sure.
You
Because
got
work is gonna fluctuate.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You're if you're freelancing, you may go months without work, or you may have a week, or something like that. If you're doing odds and ends, if you have if you don't if you have a Patreon account, whatever you got to do, but charge appropriately for those things. So we're getting close to time. Matt, let's do a check-in.
Cool, man. Yeah, I'm just kind of dinking around here.
You're dinking.
I'm going to dink.
Wow, I like the volumetrics though.
Yeah, it's fun, right? I need to dial him in a little bit, but it's a good time. He's got an
we love volumetrics, don't we?
No, yeah.
That looks great.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'll let it render out here for a little bit. Dial in some stuff.
Hell yeah.
That's what I like about region rendering. You're like, okay, well, I want to change the lighting on this, and I know it's going to translate like, what's it going to look like? It's going to start getting blue. A little more cinematic.
A little bit more.
And now that it's more dense, maybe I want to kick up the light a little bit, maybe even make it smaller or something. I don't know. But you can start to see that like raking.
Yeah.
That raking kind of light there, which is nice.
Little shadows.
Yeah, and you can, you pull it all out of your beauty render. Everything renders out separately, so you just add everything together without the without the fog, and you can plus it in as you'd like.
That's gnarly. He's looking nasty.
Thank you, dude. Need to get some glowy bits in there. I want to give him a really big ass tongue.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He needs a big tongue.
Like, it's coming for you.
All right.
Did the idea of IPR kind of go out the window after Mental Ray was replaced with Arnold? Praise be to Mental Ray.
Praise be.
And to all of its final gathering. Yeah.
Yeah, the forefather.
The grandfather of ray tracing.
Grandfather.
For visual effects. Yeah, I mean, this is all real time. V-Ray and
it's real not time, real time because you're rendering.
It's IPR. Yeah, well, he was asking about IPR, so it's like the progressive rendering. Like, that's what this is. It's progressive.
I mean, that's essentially what Keyshot's doing too.
Right. Exactly.
They sit there, they crunch, and then the denoise kicks in, and
Yeah. And this will also look different if I actually render it with the CPU and Arnold. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. All right, let's pop open my boy.
Yeah, do it.
So I've got a few lighting. I'm now that I've got him in there. I've got a ground plane with just some kind of like nasty dirt on it. Just as like a character test, like pose test.
Yeah.
So very, just enough to like, okay, what does it look like when you throw it in a lighting situation and all that stuff. The next stage is to, like I said, I want to put a bunch of these guys together.
Yeah.
I think it'd be fun to see a couple other ones coming out of the shadows. So you realize like, oh, I'm not alone. It's not alone. There's a bunch of them. I do hear that buzzing. You hear that? That is weird. Oh, that's the music.
I can very lightly hear some buzzing.
So then that's the first lighting scenario, which is kind of like very generic, like high key light, rim light.
Yeah.
Cut out the silhouette. Very simple. And then I do my favorite kind of lighting, which is like the hunter lighting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You
I like
know,
this. Yeah, it's been
spotlight,
spotlighted. Yeah,
where it's like direct, because what you want is you want that direct shadow right here that
like
cuts
a
the shape out.
like a beast in the headlights.
Yeah, that's my favorite kind of shot to do.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Um, and then you see me do this a lot in some other projects where I'll
That's
just
awesome.
have one light kind of cutting out, and then you
Yeah,
get a little rim of the shape. So it lets your imagination do some work there too. And then next lighting scenario, I was going for like nearly like an underlight. So this is like pretty typical horror lighting.
yeah, that's awesome.
You get really, it's almost dipping the light into the ground and then kicking it up. And you'll see this a lot in various horror films. Very fun to do. There we go.
Yeah, the thing that has always stuck out to me in horror films is the completely it doesn't matter, but there's this huge rim light backlight that's happening out of nowhere, but it always makes your character look like so much cooler. Just having
It's
that
like a moonlight is
yeah.
what I always figure. And then these are some scenarios where you can take some color to the light as well. Oh, there we go. So color it red with a rim light, a red rim light, because they'll always
That's awesome.
it could be it could be in like a parking lot, or and this could be like the red sign of an exit, or an emergency light that's going off. So adding color to light also kind of fills the mood. And then like if you just saw these like glowing eyes.
Oh man, yeah, that's great.
Let me pump that up a little bit. So whenever I'm doing lighting, I'll create a lot of lights with different scenarios, because you want to play around with it, and this is like where you get to really play with the character. Like this is what's nice about 3D and why I like using 3D over not over 2D, but it's just what's fun is like playing with the toy that you built.
Yeah, for sure.
See, like if I'm going to turn this light red too. Maybe if we do that moonlighting where they do like a purple, like almost neon blue light, or green. Green's always fun. My render times are super fast on this because my machine is a beast. The other thing I recommend as a freelancer is like get yourself a good machine, because you're going to be beholden to it. So I was going through a period where I was like, my machine was crashing all the time. I was losing hours of my day because restarting it was taking too long, things like that. So get yourself a good machine.
Yeah, I need to upgrade mine. That's for sure.
It's worth it. It's worth it. The hours of the hours that I've saved from like buying having a better machine, it's made a difference. See, that's the problem, is I can't get low on my camera.
Oh, because of the ground plane.
Yeah, so I get it like really low.
Yeah, in Maya, there's a thing with clipping distance, like a clipping plane. I wonder if there's any setting like that on the cameras in there.
Not that I know of. The other thing I could do is call up my geometry and move my camera this way so I can, see the effect of moving it while it's down here. And also my camera's pretty flat too. And this guy shoots a little bit better with a lower focal length. But
what's up?
But it's good fun. Hey, what's up, Josh? So
What's up?
What's up? So it's good fun, looking nasty. And then if I, do a bunch of these guys together, now I can even do that. And then
you can just duplicate them in there.
Yeah,
huh?
I was thinking I'll just duplicate it now, just to play with it. Give him a little buddy back here.
He needs a buddy.
He needs a buddy.
Everybody needs a friend, man.
They got to get along. So if you do this now, I'm just duplicating the assets, so obviously it's going to look, But if I take this and I even scale it in the negative one, that'll at least flip the model.
Ooh. I'm chugging.
I'm chugging.
I'm chugging.
I'm joking.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
I'm joking.
I'm going to eat the whole thing.
I'm going to eat the whole thing. All right, negative one. Okay, so I'm trying to like flip it in the negative and it's just not behaving. So I'm just going to not worry about it. But like once I get like a couple more of these guys in there.
That looks great, man. That's going to be awesome.
And then put some fog, some camera depth. But this is where like the fun stuff starts happening. So like a few of these guys on the ground would also be fun. Like maybe, the next one I'll have kind of like maybe hunched over, kind of like a almost squirrel-like. It's too fun and I don't want to stop, but we got to stop.
I'm going to pop some huge rocks into here right quick. I don't even know what they look like. What do they look like?
You gonna pop and rock?
Okay. They are big rocks.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
All right. And you've got...
Look at what I have.
You've got green.
That's what I have. Oh, they're facing the wrong way. Whoops.
Are those Megascans or?
Man, I don't even know what these are. I have just, I scanned some rocks whenever I lived in California, and I think this just might be some sort of 100 of them. Yep, that's what they are. It's 100 of them jammed together.
I do that too. I'll take rocks and they're like Lego sets.
This is actually I scanned this from they have that cave where they shot Batman, the Batman TV show.
Really? Oh, I think you remember. I think you told me about that.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? There's that cave out there in Los Angeles.
A cave.
It's a cave.
It's a cave.
Let's see if this melts it. Oh, nice. New student 2022 reel.
Yes. Check it out. The stuff that the students do.
It's
bonkers.
It's insane.
It's bonkers.
Yeah.
Because you're like, really?
It is absolutely, Julie. It is insane.
I mean, that's kind of, one of the biggest selling points is like, you can do this stuff too at that level. just good teachers, good education.
Absolutely.
All right, buddy. Well, I think that's it for tonight. So, because I gotta head out.
Sounds good, man.
But
I gotta hit the sack too. It's what time is it here? It's 12:30 here.
It's party town.
It's party town.
It's party town. So thanks, Matt Millard, for coming and hanging out.
Oh man, thanks, Jared.
Working on some nasty beasts, and then thank you to our sponsor Lenovo for sponsoring Creature Corner. Thank you to Gnomon School of Visual Effects, as always, the king, the mecca of visual effects. Thank you for hanging out with us. Join Josh Herman for Archetype tomorrow.
Ooh, yeah.
He's doing some killer stuff in Unreal. It's so cool. Makes me want to learn it all. So
have to learn.
So thank you guys for joining us, and I hope you have fun on your projects and you go make some scary monsters. So
good night, guys.
Good night. We love you. We'll see you next week.
Later, Jared.